What is life path number 2? Before we get started, if you'd like to know your life path, soul urge, and destiny numbers, click the link in my description below. What is life path number 2? The life path number, also recognized as the destiny number, is the quantity that outcomes from the numerological reduction of your date of birth. It provides perception about the core of your personality, and will additionally supply you a larger understanding of the pathway to success in your life. In numerology, 2 represents partnerships, relationships, and harmony. If your life path-wide variety is 2, you are a seeker after peace and harmony, with an awesome sensitivity to other people and a want to build the strongest relationships possible. You are a suitable mediator, and very skilled at seeing and understanding other people's perspectives, whether or no longer you, in my view, agree with them. Life path or destiny range 2 is a very socially and emotionally smart path. You are very loyal to people and will stick with the aid of your friends, family or companions come hell or excessive water. You're no longer constantly pretty as desirable at sticking up for yourself, though, and can have a tendency to make hasty retreats when you sense individually attacked in approaches that you would in no way let any individual assault one of your friends. The different principal war that many humans with life path 2 have is a tendency to see matters in terms of binaries, black and white, accurate and bad, right or wrong. This runs contrary to your skills with interpersonal relationships and empathy. How can you be a victim of black and white wondering when you're so good at seeing other people's perspectives? The trouble comes up when you discover yourself in situations where one side of a debate is represented properly through a close friend or a character you feel a connection with, and the different side is represented by a nebulous, faceless bad guy. When you can't humanize an opposing view, you fighting to supply it any credence, and you can shortly dump it in the bad bin. To counteract this, encompass yourself with human beings with whom you disagree. At first, it will be uncomfortable, because you are so touchy to conflict. But over time, this will prevent you from characterizing a disagreeing perspective as the enemy, and help you see why human beings would adhere to a fuller spectrum of ideas. You have to additionally study what is truly vital to you, and stand up for it, even when others seem towards you. You have an actual ability for explaining your positions in such a way that you can without a doubt alternate people's minds, but you have to begin by means of standing through that position. That doesn't imply that you must stop hearing the opposing opinions, solely that it is viable to hear and understand an opposing opinion except conceding that it's right all the time. Use a balanced approach, and look at yourself and your opponents with equal rigor and skepticism. Using numerology, human beings on life path 2 can come to have a better, extra-rounded grasp of the character features that underlie their relationships with others, and by means of getting to know about these, can find the high-quality way to use them to locate success and acquire their goals. By unlocking the root which means of life path 2, and coming to a fuller appreciation of how it influences your outlook on life, you can use the high-quality factors of the second path to your advantage, and find ways to keep away from turning into entrapped with the aid of the negative parts. Life path number 2 in love and romance. Your harmonious nature makes you a natural romantic and is very advisable in your relationships. You're extraordinarily accurate at compromising and talking it out when you come to hard patches in your relationships, and you've probably never had actual knock-down, drag-out combat with your partner. Companionship is very essential to you. You're a believer in authentic love, and with a fairy story romance with a Prince Charming. All in all, you're an excellent partner. Unfortunately for you, no longer absolutely everyone is as super a companion as you are. If you're pursuing a relationship with someone who doesn't share your enthusiasm for talking out problems, you may also each be left annoyed and careworn by your failure to communicate. You can on occasion get passive-aggressive, especially if your companion is failing to choose up on cues that may appear perfectly clear to you, however, that are instead subtle to others. You can be afraid to speak your thought more bluntly because of your fears of the war of words and injury, however, that leads to feelings of resentment due to the fact you aren't being heard. Number 2s are most well matched with an 8, a 9, or a fellow 2. These are the life path numbers that are most likely to apprehend 2's emotional needs, and be in a position to manage them with grace, whilst also main 2's down an extra wonderful route of self-development. All 3 of these numbers have a special strategy for this, and all of them can be beneficial. 8 is a very practical number, and can convey a 2 down to earth, and help focus their power in a greater decisive way. They want to be in a position to guard and information their partners, and many 2's are looking for protection or guidance, so it's the best arrangement. One can also be a desirable fit if you desire that kind of relationship, and if you can locate a 1 with sufficient patience for your emotional moments. 9 tends to be a relatively aloof and secretive number, but they possess the basic, hidden depths that so many 2s find very attractive. If you can open up the shell with a mild touch, you will quickly locate that they have a sense of romance to rival yours, and an intense emotionality that is very compatible with your touchy nature. There is no pairing extra herbal than a pair of 2s, on the grounds that you each definitely recognize each other's feelings and processes to life. You have excellent, serious conversations, and can talk through anything. The largest problem that 2s have when they date every other is that they can have issues with indecision. This might be minor: where do you want to go for dinner? I don't know, where do you want to go for dinner? Or extra predominant: do you favor kids? I don't know, do you want kids? You should do your first rate to keep away from companions who both have sincerely no recognized for emotions, as you will find yourself feeling invalidated by using them, or who don't have a sense of responsibility or determination, as you will be left trying to make each and every selection for them, which doesn't swimsuit your every so often indecisive nature. The worst offenders right here are 4 and 7, and 5 and 3, respectively. A note: remember, as always, that numerological compatibility is no longer a substitute for the human factor that makes all of us unique. If it had been as effortless as compatible destiny numbers, you might as well be the exact equal man or woman as all of us born on the same day. Always take non-public variations into account. Life path number 2 in careers and business. Because of your abilities in speaking and meditating, you are most drawn to careers that contain a lot of interpersonal interaction. Counseling is an extraordinarily famous career route for 2s because your empathy permits you to apprehend the emotions of others so effectively. You are also very diplomatic, which can make you a desirable teacher of younger children, or if you can work on constructing up your self-confidence and assertiveness, even a suitable legal professional or politician. These can be challenging paths, however properly worth it for many 2s. You are additionally drawn to innovative work, such as art, writing, or even gardening or biology, which creates life. Leveraging this into a career can be a hostilities if you don't have a very thick skin. However, it's very recommended for a 2 to both pursue innovative work as a steady hobby, or to try to find a profession that has a thing of innovative freedom to it, even if that's now not the core of the job. 2s can make very accurate homemakers and carers of youth because of their herbal talent for maintaining peace. If that course appeals to you, you can be guaranteed an extremely good deal of success there. You are wonderful with children and apprehend their feelings a lot higher than most adults, who regularly are baffled by using childhood's emotional logic. No, depend on what route you select to follow, your best asset is your emotional intelligence. While different human beings plow blindly ahead, unaware of how everybody else is feeling, you are hyper-aware of the feelings of absolutely everyone who surrounds you. Because you are often the only individual who is conscious of these emotions, developing your assertiveness is very important. You ought to often take it upon yourself to inform leaders of the consequences that they are having on others. You can't continually anticipate a 1 or an 8 to be mindful of other people's emotions when they're charging ahead with their grand designs. However, advice from any individual as sensitive as you can encourage them to reassess or exchange their plans. Because you tend to put different people's priorities ahead of your own, it can be difficult for you to climb up the ranks of something enterprise you show up to be in. Some 2s don't have trouble with this and are blissful to be the power at the back of the throne. However, some may also experience pissed off or resentful, feeling they are being left behind. Other human beings are successful, not due to the fact they're inherently better than you in any way, however, due to the fact they make being profitable a priority. They put their own success above other people's comfort. This is the secret to success, and it's now not a very comfy secret for 2s to learn. You don't need to do this 100% of the time, but if you're feeling underserved, you may additionally need to take on a little bit of this self-centered mindset in order to attain your goals. Finding fulfillment on life path number 2. 2's numerology tells you to pursue a route that capitalizes on your powerful emotional sensitivity, and your want for harmony and consensus. Fortunately, these are both extremely beneficial competencies in the current world, and ones that can be in very short grant in our self-obsessed society. Relationships are of central importance to you in each of your non-public and your expert life. There is no cause for you to try to downplay this. Relationships are a vital thing of human life, and you're better off admitting that you care about them than attempting to pretend you're an aloof soul who solely cares about themselves. The world has lots of authentic ones of those, it doesn't want faux ones too. You can also have struggled earlier than in interpersonal relationships because human beings do not recognize how strong your emotions are, or how deeply you believe in the whole thing you say about being empathetic and caring about others. Not anyone is as empathetic as you, and many people are inclined to brush off the notion that they have to simply attempt to walk a mile in anybody else's shoes, to use a cliché. You can be very fantastic pressure on these people's lives by encouraging them to do this greater frequently. I have already mentioned above the significance of surrounding yourself with people with whom you disagree. Forming actual friendships with humans who have an extensive variety of perspectives will be extraordinarily useful in helping you to develop a set of beliefs that are all your own, so that you don't slip into the lure of being empathetic to anybody who you can see face to face, or turning the invisible opponent into a huge enemy. Design a lifestyle that uses 2's numerology definition to your advantage. There are many places in this world where your wish for empathy, partnership, harmony, and grasp will be extremely beneficial, as lengthy as you can complement them with a sure quiet conviction to certain beliefs or morals. It is vital that you don't let others walk all over you. There will usually be human beings who will take gain of your giving and gentle nature, and who will step on you in their very own climb closer to success, besides achieving return to assist you up after them. Once in a while, this is simply how life is. No rely on what your lifestyle's route-wide variety is, but that once in a while is a lot rarer than you might also feel. If it feels like no one ever tries to take benefit of your 1 or 8 friends, it's because ones and eights can see a leecher a mile away, and they don't stand for it. Learn to parent between who you help, and who you have to take 2 large steps away from, so that they don't just use you and throw you away. Your time, not to mention your emotional health, is no much less essential than theirs, so don't let them eat up yours without giving you something in return. Final thoughts number 2's that means highlights the significance of developing love, harmony, and cooperation in your life. These are extremely necessary and pleasing qualities if you are in a position to use them closer to your personal goals, and not usually enable different human beings to take advantage of them. If you use your natural empathy and emotional sensitivity to structure robust bonds with each other, settle arguments peacefully, and help the people around you see different perspectives, you are destined to grow to be a fundamental fixture in any agency or group. People will infinitely recognize your wisdom and perception, especially in emotionally charged situations. On the different hand, if you fail to take time to build your own personal framework of beliefs and values, independent from the beliefs and values of those around you, then you run the hazard of letting indecision overrun your life. This will then lead you to a childlike and dependent state, the place you sense as if you need to cede strength to everybody else who asks for it, which will then shortly result in situations the place you sense taken gain of, because you are no longer capable to have a say in problems that difficult to you. Knowing the quantity 2's which means can assist you to increase a lifestyle that is more consistent with your personal, interior wishes and goals. By being conscious of some of the inclinations, even the pitfalls, of 2, you can keep away from the poor parts of this future number, and continue to be on track with the positive ones, leading to a well-rounded and highly profitable usual life experience, especially in your relationships. Can you sense the electricity of your life path wide variety 2? Do you are looking for stability and harmony in your relationships, each non-public and professional? Do you from time to time feel like your empathetic nature is taken benefit of? Do you now and again battle to be assured in upholding your very own opinions? How will you harness your destiny number's natural energy to fulfill your desires and attain your dreams?